Harihi Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryan Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchitananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarvakara Karanam Chintamani Prakara Sadma Sukalpa Vriksha Laksha Vriteshu Surabhi Abhipalayantam Lakshmi Sahasra Shatasam Brahma Sevyamanam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Venum Kvanantam Aravinda Dalaya Taksham Barhavatam Samasita Buddha Sundarangam Kandarpakoti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Alola Chandra Kalasadvanamala Vamshi Ratnagadam Pranayakili Kalavilasam Shyamam Tribangalaritam Niyata Prakasham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Angani Yasya Sakalendriya Vritimanti Pasyamti Panti Kalayanti Chiram Jaganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadujvala Vigrahasya Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Advaitam Achyutam Anadim Anantarupam Adyam Purana Purusham Navayauvanam Cha Vedeshu Durlabham Adurlabham Atma Bhaktau Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Pantastu Koti Satavatsara Sampragamyo Vayo Ratapi Manaso Munipungavanam Sopyasti Yat Prapadasimnya Vichintya Tattve Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ekopya Saura Chaitum Jagadanda Kotim Ya Chaktirasti Jagadanda Chayaya Danta Andantarasta Paramanu Chayantarastam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yad Bhava Bhavita Diyo Manujasta Taiva Samprapya Rupa Mahimasana Yada Bhusha Shuktaryameva Nigama Pratitastu Vanti Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pratibhavitabhis Tabirya Eva Nicharupataya Kalabi Goloka Eva Nivasat Akilatma Bhuto Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena Santa Sadaiva Hridayeshu Vilokayanti Yam Shyama Sundaram Achintya Gunasvarupam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ramadi Murti Shukalani Yamena Tishtan Nanavatara Makarud Bhuvaneshu Kintu Krishna Swayam Samabhavat Paramapumanyo Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yasya Prabha Prabhavato Jagadanda Koti Koti Shashesha Vasudhati Vibhuti Vinam Tad Brahma Nishkalam Anantam Ashesha Bhutam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Maya hi yasya jagadanda shatani sute Traigunya tad vishaya veda vitayamana Sattva-valambi parasatvam vishuddha sattvam Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Ananda chinmaya rasatmataya manasu Ya praninam pratipalam smaratam upetya Lilaitena bhuvanani jayati ajashram Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Golokanam nimijadam nitale chatasya Devi mahesha haridama suteshu teshu Te te prabhava nichaya vihitaschayena Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Srishti stiti pralaya sadhana shakti reka Chayeva yasya bhuvanani vibhati durga Ich'anurupam api yasya chachishtate sa Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Shriram yathadari vikara vishesha yogat Sanjayate nahitata pritakasti heto Yasambhutam apitata samupaiti karyat Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Diparchireva hidasantaram abhipretya Dipayate vivrita hetu samana dharma Yastadrikeva hicha vishnu taya vibhati Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Yatkaranarnava jale bhajati sma yoga Nidram ananta jagadanda saroma kupa Adara shaktim avalambya param samurtim Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Yasyaika nishvasita kala matavalambya Jivanti loma vilaja jagadandanata Vishnur mahansa iha yasya kala vishesho Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Pasvanyatasma sakaleshu nijeshu teja Sriyam kyat prakatayatyapi tattva tatra Brahmaya esha jagadanda vidana karta Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Yatpadapala vayugam vinidaya kumbha Vandve pranama samaye saganadi raja Vignan vihantum alamasya jagatrayasya Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Agnir mahi gaganamambu maruddishascha Kalastatatma manasiti jagatrayani Yasmad bhavanti vibhavanti vishanti yamcha Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Yacha shuresha savita sakila grahanam Raja samasta suramurtira shesha teja Yasyagyaya brahmati samvrita kala chakro Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Dharmo tapapa nichayashrutayastapamsi Brahmadikita patagavadayascha jiva Yaddatamatra vibhava prakata prabhava Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Yastvendra gopa matavendra mahossakarma Bandhanurupa palabhajanam atanoti Karmani nirdahati kintu cha bhakti bhajam Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Yam krodha kama sahaja pranayadi bhiti Vatsalya moha guru gaurava sevya bhavai Sanchintya tasya sadrishim tanumapurete Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Shriya kanta kanta paramapurusha kalpataravo Druma bhumischintamani ganamai toyamamritam Gataganam natyam gamanam apivamshi priya saki Chittanandam jyoti param apitat ashvadyam apicha Sayatra kshirabdi shabati surabhibhyascha sumahan Nimeshardakhyo va vrajati nahi yatrapi samaya Vajashveta dvipam tamaham iha golokamitiyam Vidantaste shantakshiti viralachara katipaye. Shri Brahma Samhita ki jai. So we continue with our study of the verse Advaitam Achyutam Anadim Anantarupam. And we came to the quality Adyam. The words Anadim, Anantarupam and Adyam are illustrated in 11th canto. Concerning a discussion on Sankhya philosophy, where the Lord teaches that Brahman remains after the total destruction of the universe. Quote, time merges into the Supreme Lord, present in the form of the omniscient Mahapurusha, the original activator of all living beings. That origin of all life merges into me, the unborn, Anadi, the Supreme Soul, who remains alone, Adyam, established within himself. It is from him that all creation, Anantarupam, and annihilation are manifested. Thus I, the perfect seer of everything material and spiritual, have spoken this knowledge of Sankhya, which destroys the illusion of doubt by scientific analysis of creation and annihilation. Srimad Bhagavatam 11:24, chapter 24, verses 27-29. So Adyam means, one meaning is established within himself, and also the beginning of everything. Adyam. Adi means beginning. Adyam, the person who is the beginning of everything that exists. The next quality described in this verse, Purana Purusham. Given all the qualities already listed above, one may be tempted to state, then Krishna should also be designated as the Purusha. Jiva Goswami responds, no, he is rather called Purana Purusha, the person who appears before the Purusha, Mahavishnu. Mahavishnu is just his expansion form. So from here we understand that generally Mahavishnu is known as Purusha, and because Krishna is the origin even of Mahavishnu, he is known as Purana Purusha, the oldest.
Or Purushottama.
Or Purushottama.
In Bhagavad Gita he calls himself Purushottama.
From all Purushas, from all personalities, he is the Uttama, the highest one, the supreme one. Also it means the oldest, Purana, Purana Purusham. And then Navayauvanam. In response to the preceding statement, one could infer, then he should be very old. No, he is very young, or of Kaishora age, Navayauvana. The word Cha indicates that simultaneously he has always existed in this manner. He is not new. Inconceivably he remains eternally young. So again, these contradictions that we are speaking about, the Lord is the oldest personality, he is the beginning of everything, and at the same time he is eternally youthful. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur adds how this accords perfectly with the etymological derivation of the word Purana. The derivation of the word Purana is, though existing previously, Pura, it remains fresh. Nava. Oh, interesting. Pura,
Na.
na, Nava. Thus, Purana and Nava Yavana are words that can exist together without contradiction. His graceful threefold bending form with flute in hand possesses eternal blooming youth and is above all unwholesomeness that is to be found in limited time and space. In the transcendental realm, there is no past and future, but only the unalloyed and immutable present time. Brahma Samhita 533 purport. That's also something very nice and very interesting feature of the spiritual world, that the time, although apparently existing there, it exists only in the present. There is no past and there is no future. Here in the material world, because of...
It's only past or future. I mean,
Yes.
what is the present? When you say the
Very
present
rarely.
moment, this moment is already gone. Right now, and it's gone. It's not right now.
Correct, yes.
Therefore, the svabhavika, rajasika svabhava, human beings are in rajas. That means we are always dreaming about the past or the future, and we are rarely in the present. So our existence is, although we are in jagrata, apparently, in a wakeful state quite often, like right now, but it is not really awakened state because we are not really aware about what is going on right now. We are usually in the past or in the future. We are pondering about something that happened yesterday, and then the next moment we are already looking at our watch and planning what I have to do after this lecture is over. So, and in the spiritual world is always the present. Sattvam Vishuddha Sattvam.
Yes, so that's why we have to practice developing Sattva Guna here, to learn to live in the present, and then there will be something common between our existence here and the existence in the spiritual world. Otherwise, if we are used to living just in the past or in the future, in Tamaguna or in Rajaguna, it will be very difficult. From Tamaguna and Rajaguna, we cannot just jump straight to the pure goodness. We have to go through the goodness, through living in the present. Thinking about the past is connected with Tamaguna, and thinking about the future is connected with passion, with Rajaguna.
And therefore Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Na shoshati na kankshati. That means he's neither in the past, he's not lamenting
About anything
that has happened, and he's neither in the future. He doesn't hanker about anything material.
Planning for different things.
Planning for different material enterprises. And therefore Krishna also says, Yoga Kshema Vahamyaham. Don't worry, I will keep what you have. So you don't have to worry about it.
Yes.
And I will give you what you require. I will. You don't have to be in the past or in the future to plan how you gain all this on your own. I'll take care of you. You just surrender to me, and then the rest I will take care.
Nice. Yes.
Surrender to me means be present in Sattva Guna. Just think about your service to Krishna right now.
Yes. Like very often if we see in our life, we're thinking, oh, what will happen with me in the future when like I become 60, who will take care of me and this and that. And devotee who is situated in the present, he's not worried about these things because he knows at the moment, most important thing is I'm engaged in Krishna's service and I'm making spiritual advancement, and Krishna will definitely take care of me. I mean, if I'm serving him, why not? If I serve some ordinary person, most probably he'll take care of me. He'll arrange for some kind of maintenance for my future. And what about the greatest of all controllers, the biggest boss, why not that He will arrange for our future? So no need to worry about this. Oh, what will happen in my life? So Krishna is also, by saying Nava Yauvana, he's always situated in his Kaishora age. Krishna, in his early pastimes, he apparently grows, and then for some time he's like a baby, then he becomes 5 years old, then 10 years old, then 15, 16 years old, and then he stops growing. And he's not getting old after that.
Well, he grows because he wants to give opportunity to his devotees to enjoy different pastimes with him. And the devotees are having different moods, and these different moods, they correspond best to certain age, Krishna's age.
So that's why he's changing his age.
So therefore he grows up, because he wants to yetamam prapadyante tam sita bhajameham.
But not more than 16.
Because 16, then he has reached the climax of all rasas are taken care of, so to say. So everybody has...
He reciprocates with
He reciprocates with all types of devotees, and then from there on he doesn't need to grow more. He can just deepen and enjoy more and more varieties of pastimes. Because all the devotees are pleased now. If he doesn't grow beyond Pauganda, then the gopis won't be pleased. The cowherd boys, they don't mind, they can stay, but the gopis are not satisfied, so he has to
satisfy all the devotees.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, Srila Prabhupada казва, Krishna, he always stays young. At the time when he was on this planet, Krishna...
He had sons and grandsons.
Yeah, he lived for 125 years, and he had sons and grandsons, and still he was looking like 16 years old. So this is the example Srila Prabhupada is giving to show how Krishna's age is fixed on this, doesn't go beyond this point. The next quality of Krishna described in this verse, Vedeshu Durlabham. Vedeshu Durlabham directly means very difficult to understand through the study of the Vedas. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur explains why the Lord is hard to understand. The limited intellectual function of the jiva is always contaminated by the influence of time and space, and is therefore not in a position to shake off this limitedness. If the potency of cognitive function does not extend to the realization of the transcendental, what else can? In reply, Brahma says that the transcendental absolute is beyond the reach of the Vedas. The Vedas originate in sound, and sound originates in the mundane ether. So the Vedas cannot present before us a direct view of the transcendental world, Goloka. And we have note 21. Lord Brahma, in one of his 10th canto prayers, reveals how the dust of the Brajabasi lotus feet eludes the Vedas themselves. Quote, my greatest possible good fortune would be to take any bird, whatever, in this forest of Gokula, and have my head bathed by the dust falling from the lotus feet of any of its residents. Their entire life and soul is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Mukunda. The dust of whole lotus feet is still being searched for in the Vedic mantras. Srimad Bhagavatam 10:14-34. According to Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Krishna's confidential exchange with Brahma proceeds as follows. O Brahma, Give up such an unusual obsession and pray for something more suitable to you. Brahma, then let me be born at the age of Gokula as a stone slab or piece of cloth to take the dust from the feet of one of your menial sweepers. Krishna says, but Brahma, what is the reason for such glorification of the inhabitants of Raja? Do you not have shame as worshipable creator of the universe to bathe in the dust of the lowly sweeper? And then Brahma again. But they have taken as their very life the most beautiful, with smile like a jasmine flower. Without you, they perish, because they have such unprecedented love for you. You are all we know, without which eating and drinking have no meaning. Even now, the Shrutis are searching for the dust from their feet, without success. I should be more ashamed than the Vedas with my little prayers. Oh Lord, let that be. Previously I prayed with Vairi Bhakti. Now I pray to be immersed in the ocean nectar of Raganuga Bhakti, having become the loyal follower of the inhabitants of Raja. Sarartha Darshini Tika 10:14-34. So basically in this discussion we see how Krishna cannot be understood just by study of the Vedas. Krishna cannot be understood through something material, like material words or material mind or material intelligence or material senses. So just trying to understand through what is written in the Vedas, Krishna, through our material senses, it won't be possible. That's why it said, Vedeshu Durlabham. Just by using your intellectual abilities and understanding Krishna through what you read in the Vedas, it won't be possible.
Let alone if you don't read the Vedas and you read some other books by some speculators who was so bewildered and so ignorant that he thought, or she, that he can speculate about the Supreme and he will attain the Supreme, he will understand. And so many people are reading, studying this misfortunate speculation and trying to understand God. Therefore Bhagavatam says, Andaya tandaya upagiya manaste pisha tantrimurudam nibada. The blind is following the blind. And they both go fall into the ditch.
Yeah. Well, we already discussed when it was described the secondary creation, how Brahma tried already this process.
Yeah.
He tried with the limited power of his senses, his intelligence to understand Krishna, and he failed. And then he got some knowledge about Krishna through revelation by the mercy of the Lord. So this is how it works. It doesn't work just through study of the Vedas, Vedeshu Durlabham. And then the second part of this stanza says, Adurlabham Atma Bhaktao. But it is not so difficult to understand Krishna through devotion of the soul, through devotion of the jiva. And then Acharyas, they are commenting. But what does this devotion come from and how it is imparted? Srila Prabhupada reveals. Actual knowledge of transcendental bliss can be bestowed upon anyone by a pure devotee. Vedeshu Durlabham Adurlabham Atma Bhaktao. Brahma Samhita 5:33. One cannot attain the perfection of spiritual life simply by following the directions of the Vedas. One has to approach a pure devotee. Srimad Bhagavatam 5:12 purport. According to Srila Prabhupada, even for the sadhaka on the path, these words carry special meaning. They emphasize a lifestyle which balances book knowledge with practical application in service.
Jnana and Vijnana.
Yes, so it's very important these two always to go together. Theoretical knowledge with practical application of the knowledge. Otherwise, even if you know many shlokas, what is the use? As one time, one spiritual master said, what is the use of knowing so many shlokas if you cannot live even one of them? So better live one shloka of Bhagavad Gita than know all the 700 shlokas and not practicing any one of them in your life. This is another quote from Srila Prabhupada. Although all Vedic literature is meant for understanding Krishna, one cannot understand Krishna without being a lover of Krishna. Therefore, along with the reading of Vedic literature, Svadhyaya, one must engage in devotional worship of the deity, Archana Vidhi. Together, this will enhance the devotee's transcendental understanding of devotional service. So again, theory and practice, they should go together. This quote from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya 437. Not to speak of jnanis and karmis, even if one is practicing devotee with a balanced lifestyle, the Lord may still be difficult to understand. As Srila Prabhupada explains, this to be expected, since God even bewilders himself. It is not that we have to understand Krishna fully. That is not possible. We have no capacity to understand the unlimited. Advaitam, Achyutam, Anadim, Anantarupam. Brahma Samhita 5.33. With our limited knowledge, we cannot understand the unlimited. Indeed, even Krishna does not understand himself. His attraction is unlimited, and to understand why he is so attractive, he became Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and took on the ecstatic emotions of Srimati Radharani, Radha Bhava Duty. If Krishna cannot comprehend the limit of his own attraction and bliss, it is certainly not possible for us with our limited knowledge. If we can simply understand Krishna in part, that is our perfection. Teachings of Lord Kapila approaching a bona fide Guru. And we have also a note here, all devotees can attain the Lord easily, no matter how fallen their condition. Quote from Srimad Bhagavatam, only by practicing an alert devotional service with full faith in me can one obtain me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I am naturally dear to my devotees who take me as the only goal of their loving service. By engaging in such pure devotional service, even the dog-eaters can purify themselves from the contamination of their low birth. So, again, in other words, Vedesha Durlabham, Krishna is very difficult to understand through your own endeavors, and Adurlabham Atma Bhaktav. But as Srila Prabhupada explains, if you take shelter in a devotee of the Lord and practically serve Krishna under his guidance, then Krishna will become very soon pleased and he will shower mercy upon you. Okay, so that was verse 533. Advaitam Achyutam Anadim Anantarupam. Text 34. Krishna's inconceivability. So until now, a few verses describe the sweetness of Krishna, then 3 verses describe the opulences of Krishna, and now inconceivability of Krishna. I worship the Supreme Lord Govinda, whose toes alone, possessing his inconceivable powers, Achintya Tattva, are attained only after 1 billion years by multitudes of sages who discipline the mind and the breath. This verse explains how the attainment of Krishna eludes even the greatest yogis and jnanis. In spite of their asceticism and renunciation, they still fall short of the supreme goal. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur explains, it is not sufficient to destroy the condition of materiality But the real gain to the jiva is his eternal existence in his self-realized state. This can be attained only by the grace of unalloyed devotion, which is essentially chit or transcendental in character. For this end, abstract and uninteresting mental speculation is of no avail. Brahma Samhita 5.3.4 purport. Jiva Goswami remarks, the truth of the matter is that his avichintya tattva, inconceivable. Skanda Purana and Mahabharata say, achintya kaluye bhava natam starke na yojayat. Prakriti vyaparam yachcha tat achintyasya lakshanam. Inconceivable states are not subject to material logic. The nature of the inconceivable is that it is beyond material objects. And also Brahma Sutra says, Shrutes tu shabda mulatvat. Contradictory states can exist in the Lord because the scriptures state this, and scriptures are the root of knowledge. Vedanta Sutra 2.127. So achintya means that something which has power like jewels or special medicines, which when applied to the head affect other parts of the body inconceivably. This power is suitable for the Lord. So achintya means inconceivable or possessing inconceivable powers. And this nice example was given about a jewel or a medicine. Like you take a medicine, let's say you take a pill, you put it in your mouth and suddenly some part of the body is cured. It's kind of like a mystical process. So this is the meaning of achintya. It's inconceivable. You cannot understand it with your material logic, but it works. It's doing the job. So that's the nature of Krishna. Avichintya tattve. That's his nature. And pantastukoti sambrahmasya vimanam. Great sages, they are trying to reach the Lord, but because they are doing it with their own endeavor, equipped with their intelligence, they fall short. They cannot achieve actually the knowledge about the real nature of the Lord. Avichintya tattva, the inconceivable nature of the Lord. Text 35. Bigger than the biggest, smaller than the smallest. I worship the supreme.
So this is little bit like Ishpanishad, the mantras from Ishpanishad, which
he is outside of everything and he is inside.
He walks and he doesn't walk.
Yes.
He's very close and very far.
Yes.
So these are the inconceivable qualities of the Lord. So first, his sweetness, then his power, and then the third part describes that he
cannot understand him.
He can be sweet and powerful at the same time.
Yes, very nice, sweet and powerful.
And you cannot understand this with your material brain. No way. You have to pray for the mercy of the Lord to understand a little bit of his inconceivable opulence and sweetness at the same time.
I worship the Supreme Lord Govinda, who creates tens of millions of universes by just one of his energies, who holds the multitude of universes within himself, and who is simultaneously situated within every atom within the universe. So he is greater than the greatest because he is able to create these huge universes. And at the same time, he is present within each and every atom in the universe. That's really like mind-blowing. It's amazing. Who can do that? So this shows how Krishna is not material, ordinary personality.
Yeah, everything is inside Krishna, and Krishna is inside everything at the same time. So he is inside the heart, he's in the heart and in every atom as Paramatma, but Paramatma swallows the whole creation at the end of the end of the material time. I mean, the end of the creation. So the person who, like when Krishna opened his mouth, everything was inside him, and this Krishna is inside our heart.
And inside every atom.
Yeah, even between the atoms.
Even between the atoms, some places it is. He keeps the atoms together, because atoms, if you see them from a quantum physics level, atoms, they are on a huge distance from each other.
Yeah.
So then what is keeping these structures together? Like
the power of attraction.
Yes.
Sankarshan.
Who is this power of attraction? This is the Lord himself.
And people call this gravitation. Actually, this is the power of Lord Sankarshan. Like he attracts.
And yeah, I mean also he attracts the things to stay close to each other or stay aloof from each other.
And he attracted Krishna also, right? When he was born.
He was attracted by Yoga Maya.
Mm.
That's why he's known as Sankarshan. He was attracted from the womb of Devaki to the womb of Rohini. That's why he's known as Sankarshan.
Okay.
But yeah, it's interesting how Krishna, he's regulating the whole creation, everything from the huge universes and planets to the small atoms. Like in the case of the atoms, he's keeping them together, but also he's keeping aloof. Like for example, he's keeping two planets aloof from each other.
Otherwise there will be collision.
Yes. So it's amazing how Krishna is under full control of everything.
And he's aloof.
And at the same time, he's the most cute one. He's the sweetest.
Yeah.
He's not just great, amazing, but he's
powerful,
but he's very sweet at the same time. These two things, they go at the same time. It's very...
Yeah, that's Krishna's uniqueness. No other concept of God can offer this. I mean, the Bhagavata concept, the Vedanta concept of God is far, far above anything anyone can offer.
Yes.
It's not just superior, it is far, far, far superior.
It's amazing, yes. This verse further elaborates Krishna's inconceivable powers. All pervasiveness is only a localized aspect of the majesty of Krishna, the Lord of all. Though he is all pervasive, yet in his existence everywhere in a medium shape consists his spiritual lordship beyond human conception. I'll read this thing one more time. Though he is all pervasive, yet in his existence everywhere in a medium shape consists his spiritual lordship beyond human conception. This argument favors the doctrine of simultaneous, inconceivable distinction and non-distinction. How do we call this in Sanskrit? Chintya Beda Beda Tattva. So that's our concept.
Or Shakti Parinavada.
Yes. And knocks down the contaminating Mayavada and other allies doctrines. Brahma Samhita 535. As evidence for Krishna's unlimited potency, Jiva Goswami cites the examples of Brahma's bewilderment and beholding unlimited Purusha avatars in a place of cowherd boys, and also Mother Yashoda seeing the multitude of universes within her child's mouth. So these pastimes, of course, many different pastimes of Krishna show his inconceivable potencies, unlimited potencies, but Jiva Goswami choose to give an example, exactly these two pastimes. Brahma Mohana Liwa, how Brahma is stealing the cow boys and the cows, and Krishna is maintaining manifesting all of them from his body. And then how Mother Yashoda is seeing all the universes within the mouth of her child. And another pastime I'm thinking of is Govardhan Hill. I mean, who can lift a mountain and keep it like that for 7 days? You gotta be special.
Special, yes.
Definitely, you have to be very special. Okay, and the last verse for today, text 36. Krishna's mercy. I worship the Supreme Lord Govinda, whom men praise with Vedic verses, Nigama Shuktai. After having fixed their minds on him with devotion and consequently having attained glorious forms, thrones, vehicles, and ornaments by his mercy. The previous 4 verses dealt with the Lord's infinite power. The theme of this verse, however, is the Lord's mercy and loving reciprocation with his devotees. Jiva Goswami relates, quote, this verse speaks of the mercy that the Lord shows to various devotees practicing various sadhanas. Though the verse refers to devotees attracted to the Lord's grandeur, Brahma hints that the Lord will award the pure devotee much more. Just as those who practice meditation on the qualities, character, age, pastimes, and clothing of the cowherd boys attain similar forms and destinations, it is fitting that those who constantly recite the Vedas attain goals similar to the content of their recitation. So basically, the idea of this verse is that when we dedicate ourselves to a certain practice, sadhana, and we are performing it in a proper way, and we manage to satisfy Krishna, Krishna will give you the ultimate result of this sadhana. So this will include your spiritual form, your activities that go with this spiritual form, all the attributes that they go with this spiritual form, everything. Let's say, here the example we've given with the cowherd boys. If you practice spiritual life and you achieve your eternal spiritual form of a cowherd boy, everything that goes with it will also come. Like a sitting place, it is said, different ornaments, let's say your cowherd boy stick, everything that goes with it will come. So according to the practice, one will achieve a certain destination.
Just like if you're invited for a lunch or a dinner somewhere, you don't have to worry about the plates, about the fork, knife. Will there be a table? Are they going to give me napkins? Or it goes together with the dinner. It's just side things.
Yes, and also it depends what kind of dinner it is. According to this, there will be a certain table, there will be a certain plates.
Yeah, more formal or more informal.
Yes, everything.
The menu will be different.
Correct.
The environment, the mood, the people around, how they deal with you, everything will be different according to the mood.
Exactly. So in the same way, according to our sadhana, according to the mood of our sadhana, one will get a certain form, certain attributes, certain place where certain pastimes will be performed. All this will follow the sadhana of the person. Inimical kings like Shishupal, Paundraka, and Shalva were always thinking about Lord Krishna, even while they were lying down, sitting, or engaging in other activities. They enviously meditated upon the bodily movements of the Lord, his sporting pastimes, his loving glances upon his devotees, and other attractive features displayed by the Lord. Being thus always absorbed in Krishna, they achieved spiritual liberation in the Lord's own abode. What then can be said of the benedictions offered to those who constantly fix their mind on the Lord Krishna in a favorable, loving mood? Srimad Bhagavatam 11.5.48. So even if meditating on the Lord with unfavorable mood can bestow such a benediction, what to speak if someone is performing pure devotion with proper mood, with positive mood, favorable. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, in discussing rasa, we meet with 5 kinds of devotion or service: shanta or unattached, dasya or pertaining to reverential, willing service, sakya or friendship, vatsalya or parental love, and shringara or juvenile love. The devotees surcharged with the ideas of their respective service serve Krishna eternally and unlimitedly reach the goal of their respective ideals. They attain the real nature of their self befitting their respective rasas, their glories, conveyances, seeds befitting their sacred service, and transcendental qualities of ornaments enhancing the beauty of their real nature. Those who are advocates of Shanta Rasa attain the region of Brahma Paramatma, the seat of eternal peace. Those of Dasya Rasa get to Vaikuntha, the spiritual majestic abode of Sri Narayan. Those of Sakya, Vatsalya, and Madhurya Rasa, juvenile love, attain Golokadam, Krishna's abode, above Vaikuntha. They worship Krishna by the suktas depicted in the Vedas with the ingredients and objects befitting their respective rasas in those regions. So everything is very logical, like according to the mood you have and according to the practice you are doing, Krishna will reciprocate and he will put you in a certain position, situation where you can eternally reciprocate loving dealings with him in this mood, in these activities. Okay. So that's it for today, and tomorrow we'll continue with text 37, the gopis and the 64 arts. Om Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Samavita Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Taigora Premanande.